Hey guys, it is 12:21. It is Monday, March 9th, and I want to come on here again and share a couple visions. Share a couple visions that God gave me probably 15 minutes ago or so. Um sorry. So it was probably 15, 16 minutes ago. And this is Amanda Lee Christian, okay? And so what God showed me was the first vision wasn't this foggy one, but the first vision was I was shown about two adolescents, and the adolescents were in distress and they were crying for help. They were saying, "Mommy, help me." And I believe that the two adolescents were separated, and one was in one spot and one was in the other. In the first spot, let me explain it to you. So God showed me a big open grassy mowed down, not mowed, but really short, really green grass, okay? And it was daylight over there, okay? um Not full daylight, um but daylight. And what I was shown was like a wooden small barn, kind of almost like an old, like, not a milk barn, but it not a full size barn, but just more like a kind of a shack barn, like where a cattle would take shelter out in the middle of a field, out in the middle of nowhere. But it didn't really have any purpose. It was just standing alone. It was a standalone one, and it really didn't have any purpose as really like. But I knew it was way out on a property, and it was like really secluded. Okay. And I knew, and there were no openings. There was no open doors on this barn, like this small milk barn, shed barn, whatever it is. It didn't have a pitch roof. It was flat. It was old wood. I mean, it was probably from the early 1900s, maybe 1920s. Okay. And it had kind of rolling landscape, not hills, but just slightly rolling. And in the background, there might have been some trees here and there or something like that. But there I was, and I thought, wow, okay. And then the scene switch, the next vision, okay. Um, then I was shown that I was in front of this other barn, all right, and it oh, then okay, I'm sorry, there was three. Then I was shown that there was this foggy tree line, and it was kind of like this. The fog was dense like this. The first vision I saw, there was no fog. It was completely clear, but it was the sun wasn't out. Okay, and then the second one, okay, here I saw the fog, and there was like a tree line, and the fog was gently rolling through, like in between this tree line going inward, and it was there was more trees off to the left than this picture and trees off to the right. And it looked like little oaks sticking up, or like all in a cluster, okay? And then after that, I was shown the barn, another barn, and this was a bigger barn. And it had no door on it, and the inside of it was completely black. I couldn't see into the inside of the barn, it was just pitch black, okay? And I knew there was an adolescent in there with their knees kind of maybe, I don't know. All I heard was, "Mommy, help me." And I knew that an adolescent was in there, and I saw a man. There's one man that walked down the side of the first small, like, wooden barn that I was shown in that vast expanse. He started walking down the side of it, okay? And then I saw the fog one, and then I saw the other barn, all right? And the without the door on it, it was completely black inside. And I knew that a man had like walked towards that one and said, "Where are you?" or something like that. They were trying to find that kid, and the kid was very scared. Um, and then so I hear a kid in distress in there. There's an adolescent in distress in there, okay? And they're saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." You know, they're just crying. They're like, "Mommy, help me. Mommy, I'm here." And I saw another little boy, and he had like a jacket on with a baseball, I think a baseball hat. And I'm not sure which one he was in, if they were in both the same or if he was in another one. But the first one, the door was closed. The second one, the door was open. I don't remember seeing a door on it, but it was just like pitch black. That's it. And I think there might have been some trees behind that one too. I can't remember that. But I wanted to share this with you guys. And that God showed me these three scenes and that I could hear adolescents in distress. And so pray for these children. And I love you and God bless.